Well, welcome to the Buttermilk channel. Turn on another light here. Maybe that'll help. Just to run by what's going on in the news. Protest, Washington, D.C., Amazon, brokers being transparent. That just is on top of all the news right now in trucking. I hope everybody got to watch Truckers Coach program last night, talking about OOIDA, where they wrote a letter to Congress talking about brokers need to give us the origin sheets for owner-operators. Give you the origin sheet because that's supposed to be gave to you. And if you, whatever rule it was, I forgot what it was, Truckers Coach goes over in his video just a few minutes ago. Didn't get to watch the whole video. I had to see him, had to move over here, there, back around, back, and all that good stuff. So I didn't get to finish the program. But another thing he was talking about, brokers, Amazon going nationwide. So we knew that. I knew that. Everybody knew that they're going to go to a new system where you don't even bid on freight and stuff. You just look, check it, take it. If you don't, oh well, leave it. What's a little bit about what the program's about is what I want to go over about things. The coach is 100% right. You know, I've wrote my congressman, talked about what we need to do to improve life as a trucker. We need to take a stand. Well, if we take a stand, it's not so much we want to be regulated, because I'm not for that, but there's a couple of things I do want. One is more parking nationwide. If state park funded or whatever they got to do, parking is number one thing. Number two thing is I need the federal government to give company drivers our per diem back so we can claim it during the year as a tax, as you know, for our taxes, which we don't have. Owner operators do have that, but company drivers, we don't have that anymore. And one thing a lot of people out here got to remember, Freight Broker Live, Jeffrey Like, the coach, I'm just going to throw out some names, James Hensley, anybody that talks about this stuff, number one thing is, don't listen to nobody. Don't even listen to me. Number one thing is, educate yourself. Don't go on hearsay. Because if you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure. Educate yourself, then make a decision about your trucking career. And everybody talks about drivers not being together. There are 3.5 million truck drivers, owner operators, and everything. Well, truck drivers are like chameleons. We all run to certain things and change our colors. And it's so hard for all of us to get on the same page, is the number one thing. Like freight brokers. Some freight brokers don't know they're behind from a hole in the ground. And there's some freight brokers that are very intelligent and give you good information about how freight is running, who's in that area that they've worked with and stuff. So do your homework on brokers. But this transparency about them showing you how much money they making and all that, well, they don't ask to see your last year's tax returns. Why you want to see what they got? But anyway, it's a capitalist market. It's a free trade. A lot of things we do out here, we're barking up the wrong tree, but we're trying to do it for the right reason. Number one is, if you have a problem, number one is, don't always depend on the government to get you out. Take a solution and the answer to them with that. For instance, if you have a leaking water pipe, we put Flex Seal on it until we can get there with the plumber, or the plumber gets there. So if you have a sinking ship in truck driving, and it just has happened, the coach talked about this, and he is 100% right about that. If you already are getting ready to be repossessed, you had problems before all of this pandemic recession started, should I say. So work with your lenders, like Coach said. Please watch this video. I got a picture of it up at the front, and just look at it, watch it. He is so passionate. He is 100% true about things we need to do and things we need to change, like insurance rates. If I got bad credit, I got to pay a higher premium if I'm an owner-operator. If you have good credit, you pay lower interest rates. Hey, it is what it is. I guess they gambling on you. Things like that. You know, why can't we have, instead of our credit, why can't we go on our driving experience on insurance? You know, this is a solution. These are things what are aggravating drivers. And when they get in front of people and they don't have any reputation, they come out with some crazy crap, you know. We need more bug washing fluid or something like that. Already went over truck parking. Make that move. This is every freight broker is in different areas. So if you have to take a loss to make a better gain, do that. And don't sit in the truck talking about freight broker this, freight broker that, they're cheating me, why is this, why is that? Every person that calls that freight broker has the option to listen and hang the phone up if it's not what you want to haul the freight for. You don't have to complain. You don't have to whine. You don't have to get mad at them. You either take it or you move on. If you sit there in that area, no freight broker, move. Look on the load board. Chase the freight. That's what a lot of people are doing. Number one thing is, most of these guys who are yelling about freight brokers are keeping all the money and not giving it to the carrier. Some of them do that. Some of them are greedy. I mean, there's truck drivers are greedy too. Because some of these carriers can get freight broker license. You can have 3 trucks and have freight broker license, pick a load, get you a cut, and give it to somebody else. Double brokering. It happens every day. I'm pretty sure it does. Number one thing is, if you go to Washington, or another thing, not number one. Another thing, if you go to Washington, make sure your agenda and your solutions are there so you know how to fix it. Make sure you make that known. Just going over my notes here. The biggest thing is, drivers, you've got to know your cost. If you don't know your cost, how can you negotiate rates with the brokers? If you just say, oh, well, John, James, and Jim said, you know, we need $3 a mile. If I ain't hauling $3 a mile, you know, I'm not doing nothing. If you don't know what your cost is, how do you know how to haul the freight or how many miles you need? That's the number one thing right there. Educate yourself. Don't go on hearsay. Educate yourself. Fair rates. I did a video on something like fair rates, minimum rate, like a minimum wage. Yeah, I did do that. Talked about that a little bit. I thought it was a good solution. I thought it was an idea. That was a bad idea because that's government regulations. We don't want any more government regulations out here. Just to clarify that up. Educate yourself on how brokerages work. I'm going to give it to you right here. This is the customer's freight. This is the stake. He gives it to the broker. Then the broker gives it to you. Okay, well, the broker says, hey, I'll do it for 2/3. So that's what the customer gives it to the broker for. All right? Well, you come along, you tell the broker, hey, I need $2 a mile. Just say that. Well, broker says, okay, I can do that. Gives you $2 a mile. That's what the broker's got left, his stake. So don't get mad about transparency, because if you don't know how to negotiate freight, you're going to set yourself up for failure. Yeah, freight rates are low. Got to know your cost, where you can run. We talked about deadhead and getting out of the area. I believe that's pretty much about all I got. Make sure go watch the coach's show, and I hope this video makes sense and helps you out. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, pass it on. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your brother. If you have any questions, buttermilk1972@gmail.com. All day long, 24/7. Or I am me on this channel. Everybody have a good day. Hey, one more thing before I go tonight. Got some little clips about what's going on at the end of the video. Read through that, and that should help you on your comments and stuff. Let me know what your solution is. We're not complaining out here. We're asking for solutions.